Welcome to part 7 of my box van build. It's a beautiful day today, so I'm keeping the van outside. I'm gonna start framing out the interior and figuring this out. So let's do it. All right, I'm gonna start with this side. And what I know for sure is I want 24 inches right here for the bathroom. And I've got this old roll of masking tape that got too hot at some point. So I'm going to use that to sort of mark stuff out. So 24 inches. One of you guys commented that I should get a mop sink, and that's a really good idea. I started looking at them and they're like ridiculously expensive. They're like they're almost 200 bucks. So I still kind of want to do that, but only if I can find one I can afford somewhere. And we're going to come out 24. And then it's about 1.5 inches from there. So we'll do about, well, let's just go on our grout line. That makes sense, yeah. So we're about 2.5 to the center of the grout line. Oops. Yeah, this tape is in bad shape. Yeah, so sorry I didn't have a video last Saturday. I went on vacation. And before that, I was so busy fixing up my Buick so it could do another road trip. Which may be its last one. I'm not going anywhere else the rest of this year, and by the time spring comes around, I'll be living in this van, so. All right, so this is essentially going to be the bathroom, the shower, and where my cat's litter box is going to go. Yep, I'm going to have a shower curtain, comes around, have a mirror right here, maybe a little medicine cabinet, who knows. Next, we've got to figure out kitchen countertop. All right, kitchen counters are 36 inches tall. And I did not measure the depth of a kitchen counter, but I can just make that whatever I want. I'm gonna go 35.5. Because I'll put a piece of 1/2 inch plywood on the top, and then I'm going to put Formica on that. I'm gonna go get a Sharpie, actually. Okay, So 35.5. Nothing is level, so I have to just put my lines together. As you can see, I'm going to have a pretty decent sized kitchen. Sink here, wood stove there, cooktop here, counter space a little bit. Been shopping for sinks and they're all really expensive. I'm probably going to go with one of those RV sinks that has the little lid that closes on it and the folding faucet. There's one for about $100, like 95 bucks or something. All right, so 24 over. It's right there. I think my marker is finally dying. I've been using this same marker on this whole build. Having this square pattern on my floor is making it really easy for me right now for marking stuff out. Okay, so now we have kind of where we're going with this. Now the question is, do I want my counter to be 24 inches deep? I think that'd be a pretty good size. And then everything will be level or, you know, flush here. Yeah, I kind of want to do that. So we're going to have a 24-inch deep kitchen counter. I wonder what the standard depth of a kitchen counter is. I bet it's more. I bet it's like 26. I know a vanity is less, like 22 or something. Now from the wheel well at 24, that comes out 12. So we'll come out 12 back here. The box fan is pretty like square and all the measurements are very basic. It is such an easy like starting point for a build like this, especially if you're kind of stupid like me and struggle with measuring stuff, right? Okay, so shower, kitchen. What I'm going to have is a piece of 1/2-inch plywood on the side here. I'm going to take a 2x4 and I'm going to rip it in half to save weight and to stretch my materials. And I'm going to mount it here. Over here, I'm going to have a piece of plywood, 1/2-inch, that'll come up and over. And I'll probably do a radius to make it look nice. And that'll be kind of the side splash and guard for where the wood stove goes. And then I'll figure everything else out after that. So first, I'm going to cut a 2x4 for this. I'm going to make it 1 inch shorter than whatever this is. And then I'm going to cut some plywood for the sides and then frame it out from that. So from the bed to here, it's 58. So I'm going to make a 57-inch piece. Now I'm going to rip it in half. So 3.5, so 1 3/4 inches. But we want to even out the saw blade. So we'll take about a 1/16 to an 1/8 off of that. And that'll split the difference both ways. Yeah. Sure. Somebody just drove by and they were blasting the Bee Gees. Alright, so I'll use one side for the back and one for the front. I'll put the cut end on the top. This 2x4 is warped. That's to be expected, I guess. How straight is it that way? It's actually better that way. So maybe I'll do this. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Come in a 1/2 inch. I'm going to pre-drill the holes with an 1/8 inch bit. So I don't split the wood. And then I've got 2.5 inch screws. My bit's all plugged up. All right, now I think I will go ahead and make a piece of plywood for right here. And then I will frame this side. Yep, that is a perfect kitchen counter height. And my window can go right here. Yeah. I could even put the window right between these two studs. I'll figure that out in a minute. So my side piece will be 35.5 by 24. Actually, I will make it 23.5, and then I'll have a fascia of plywood. 23.5. By 35.5. I've had a lot of comments about safety glasses. I appreciate your concern. I don't know which side looks better. I believe this is the sanded side. This one has a crack in it. So does this, though. I should sand this before I put it in the van, though. I think I'm gonna do this side. Looks a little nicer. I think my sander's broke. Some guy showed up and he's looking at me funny. It's always awkward filming in front of people. Yeah, so the plywood is, you know, pretty warped. I am going to support it and try to straighten it out a little bit. Okay. All right, for now I'm going to screw this right up here in the corner. At least get it in place and then keep building. Yep, this will be a good sized shower. Next, I'm going to put a little piece right here at the bottom and one up the back to support that. 6 inches. Yeah, everything in this van is just so nominal. Is that the right word? I don't know. I'm gonna make a 6-inch piece. Okay, and I'm going to screw that to the floor and then screw this plywood to it. Now I'm kind of fighting, there we go, the wall here. So I need to go. Perfect. All right, next, I'm going to put a piece right here. 32.5. These measurements are just elementary today. I'm loving it. 32.5. Okay, I cut it a little too short. I'm smart like that. Maybe I should turn it. Yeah, it fits better that way, but the side of the board is straighter. So we'll go that way. Now, I'm going to put a screw in from the top. And we'll go ahead and just kind of toenail one through the bottom. A little unnecessary, this little bit right here, but that's okay. I do what I want. So now I think I should have a piece along the bottom to support the bottom of the front. I'm gonna go ahead and just do 57 again. That should be exactly what I need. Yeah. Yep, and then I'm gonna figure out this overly complicated piece of plywood that's gonna go on the left side. Now I'm going to screw this to the floor. I'm going to take a measurement right here to make sure I'm at 23.5. Going to pre-drill a hole. Now I'm going to add a few more. So this is what we've got so far. So I'm designing as I go. This isn't really an instructional video, it's more of a watch me build my van. It's my own design, it's what I want. If you're building a van, do it your way, you know? I have a really complicated piece of plywood to figure out for this side. It's gonna go around the wheel well and the water tank. It's gonna come up even higher than 36 because I'm going to build sort of a partition between the bed and over here where the wood stove's gonna be. If there's enough where I feel safe having my mattress on the other side of that partition at 36, I'll do that, because that would look better, but we'll see. So I measured the stove. We got 16 inches high. So let's say the bottom of it is here. That puts it like right above the countertop height, which is perfect for that. That's exactly what I wanted. But I feel like I need like a firewall between the bed and the stove. So I want that to be, we'll go up 24 from the stove, yeah. Yeah, I feel good about that. So 24 from here up. And then I need a piece to go from there down. That's 20. So I need my piece's total height to be 44. So I'm gonna start by making a 44 by 23.5 piece. And then I need to cut it out to clear this. And then for the top front, I want to like make a radius so it's kind of, you know, or at least maybe cut an angle into it. That might be a little easier. Because I'm going to do where the wood stove's going to go, what I'm planning, it's going to have a little recessed opening here for it. With clearance all around, like 4 inches of clearance. So it'll be about 16 wide, come out to about there. And then my induction cooktop will be just to the right of that. And then on the inside, I'm thinking 3/8 Durarock with like stone tile on that, which will be with the adhesive, it'd be about 7/8 thickness on top of the wood. So it's going to take up quite a bit of room for my countertop, I mean. But I think it'll all work out pretty well. So 44 by 23.5. All right, so my last piece of 1/2 inch plywood is 2 inches too short or narrow. So this is 5/8. I'm just going to make it work. And I've decided that the front fascia of the cabinet will be 3/8 plywood, which will be just fine. I really do not want to go to the store today, and that is just fine. This will still fit. 5/8, it's only like, it's more like 9/16. And for what I'm doing with it, the thicker the better, really. I'll have a nice, safe wall between my wood stove and my bed. Now I'm doing ugly side in. Because that's the side that's going to be covered with tile. And I'm not even measuring, I'm just drawing lines, because that's easier. Okay. All right, I'm gonna make sure this fits real quick and then figure out what I wanna do for the corner. It would probably be easier for tiling if I just do an angle. Okay. Yeah. I could go the height of the counter and then angle all the way to the back. That would look kind of nice, I think, actually. Or I could just do something on the front corner. What do you think? Or I could just leave it like that, but I don't like that sharp corner right there. I think that would bother me. If I do an angle from the back to the front, it would look like that. Or if I go halfway back, so 12 1/4. Do an angle there. I think that would probably look better, actually. That's what I'll do. That'll look less tacky. Let's see, 23 1/2. That's 11 1/4. Or 11 3/4. Right? Yeah, we're getting into the hard math now. Okay, a radius would look better, and I could tile that, but we'll just go ahead and keep it simple. going to sand this. For the edge, like the cap of this, I don't know. Might get some like aluminum C-channel or something. Okay. Yeah, I like it. It's basically what I had in mind. It'll work. Just a nice little safe partition. Between the bed and the wood stove. I guess the wood stove opening would be the next step. So it's 12 inches wide, 16 inches high, because there's a 4-inch space underneath for the legs. So I guess the first thing I could do is put a piece here, a support, and then I need another one along the bottom, which I need to have come over to this wall stud, because I want a safe amount of space on all 4 sides of it, which the legs were 4-inch. So we'll say 20 inches, so that's 12 plus 4 on each side. And then we'll add 2 inches for the thickness of like the sidewall, the 3/8 Durarock, and the tile. Drill some pilot holes. I am thoroughly enjoying this, by the way. I've been dreaming about doing this for months. I'm building my home. It's awesome. Couldn't afford to buy a house. Building a van. And actually, the van is level side to side when it's parked in the shop, but out here in the parking lot, I don't know. It might not be. I'm realizing I just raised my wood stove height by 1.25 inches. So the wood stove will come up to right there, 16. That's still a pretty good partition. I'll go ahead and cut a 20-inch piece for right here. And then I will run a piece over to the end of the wall stud there, tie it all in. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, put a piece there. Looks good. Okay. And I'll just do one in the middle. If you have OCD, I apologize for this video. I'm sure it's probably painful to watch me work like this. All right, where's my tape measure? I'm gonna put a piece right here. Don't go down. Okay. I'm going down more. There we go. Okay. Where's my tape? Did I leave my tape out there again? Damn it. -2 1/4. So 19 3/4 right here. And then 18 1/2, 9/16. We'll do half. All right, 18 1/2. Perfect, that's 19. And then 19 3/4. What's this? That's 19, 18 1/2. That has a split in it. We'll do this one. 19 3/4. Basically like this. Oh yeah, I could make like a nice storage box for firewood right here. Maybe a drawer that tilts out. That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be freaking awesome. Little storage box. Firewood. Yeah, because I mean, I can't keep my wood outside all the time. What if it's raining? I could get I am going to get like a folding cargo carrier for the rear bumper, rear hitch, whenever I have one of those, where I'll keep wood and trash. You know, for October, it is like frickin' warm today. That piece is sappy. Sappy, sappy. Now, I should put a piece here, probably. And then I could do wall, wall, bottom. So this would be 21 3/8 by 23 1/2. Yep. Yeah, let's do that. And then I'll have somewhere to set my wood stove. All right, so in order to use all my plywood scraps, this became a 3-piece, and I added a center support. So it's a little funky. It'll be fine. I'm putting the Dura rock over this, so. I'm gonna go get my stove and set it there. This thing has got some weight to it. Okay. All right, wood stove. Yeah, it is like dark out now. It's only 4 o'clock. It is like, look at that. It was just sunny about 15 minutes ago. Okay. So now, I need plywood here. And then I need supports around the top and that side over there for the countertop. Yeah, this is awesome. It's my first time like seeing it in the van. Now, because of the way the solar panels are, I'll have to have my chimney come up and 45 over and then exit kind of right here, right above the bed. If I put the solar panels parallel, like down both sides of the van, I wouldn't have anywhere to put this, like at all, unless I had my chimney go out the sidewall, which is not ideal. You want a good rise, you know. Just having 45s kind of sucks. I mean, straight up and out would be perfect, but it'll work out pretty well this way. Yeah, that'll keep me warm, and I'll be able to cook right on top of it. And the reason I recessed it like this is for 2 reasons. One, now the top of it is just barely above my height of my counter. So that'll be really convenient for cooking on. And 2, just heat rises, and you want, you know, I don't want this like way up here close to the roof. That would be bad. So this is, I like this. Again, I'm putting Durarock and tile here, here, all around the sides. Maybe even back here, probably not. But in this whole little cubby area will be tile. Which, who knows how that's going to hold up, you know, being in a vehicle, bumping around, but it's not going to be a lot. It's just a small area. And I'll probably, at least for the bottom, do large pieces. Well, maybe not. We'll see. I'll just buy whatever I like at the store. So, anywho. So, yeah, now I need to figure out over here. And I should have probably made this a 2x4 and then built off of that, but I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. Might go ahead and continue this up to here. Plywood to that. I'm all out a 1/2 inch now. So I've decided this whole front fascia is going to be 3/8 ply, and this side piece right here will either be 3/8 or 5/8. I should probably just do 5/8 because that's what I did over here. But I'm trying my hardest to use what I got because I really don't want to go to the store today. Just trying to make progress and use every inch of the material that I got, which so far it's working out pretty well. Ripping the 2x4s in half was a good idea. Especially right here. Now I have a perfect opening for a firewood drawer. Alright, I'm going to put my GoPros on time lapse so this video is not 3 hours long, and I'm going to finish framing this out and then maybe get the fascia done today. I'm going to have a storage box here for firewood. I'm going to have drawers, and I'll show you what I'm doing with the induction cooktop. So. Alright, here's where I'm at. There's pretty much going to be no counter space between the sink and the induction cooktop. And the induction cooktop is going to be recessed, so it sits flush. And then I'm going to have a little opening on the front with a grill because it has like a fan underneath it. And I'll make that where I can open it up and shim up the induction cooktop to level it if I have to. But it's pretty much inevitable that I'm gonna have to buy more plywood, and I haven't ordered my sink yet. So I think I'm gonna go home and order that sink, and then tomorrow I'm going to the hardware store and going to get plywood and Durarock for this and look at tile, and then get back on it tomorrow. All right, it's the next day now, and it's another beautiful day. I am going to cut out a countertop for this thing, and maybe a front fascia too. Just use up all the rest of the plywood that I've got. I probably won't cut out any of the cutouts on the fascia because I don't know where my drawers and doors and stuff will go, but at least get it kind of roughed in. I did order my sink last night. It was 150 bucks, but it's a tiny little sink with a tempered glass lid that folds down on it, and it has a folding gooseneck style faucet, which will be perfect. That'll give me more counter space. I'm gonna have a little bamboo cutting board that I can set on top of it. So I'm gonna make a countertop, and then I might install my window today. So start by measuring 23.5 by 57.5. I'm gonna have a little bit of countertop behind this wood stove, just enough to set something on. Also, I decided to go with the full 2x4 on the front. This will be the kind of highest stressed area of this whole contraption, so I thought it'd be a good idea to just go for the full 2x4 here. And everything turned out pretty well, just for, you know, considering I just kind of built it as I went, and it's funky, but I'm happy with it. My ears were ringing last night. Skill saw's pretty loud. Wood stove's got some weight to it. All right, I'm going to trace out the opening here and then cut it. get this lined up as good as I can. I can force it straight with screws later, but for now I just need to cut the thing. Now that I'm looking at it, I should have made it a 1/2 inch longer for the fascia. That's okay. I'm gonna have trim around the edge. I'm gonna Formica the top and then put some kind of trim on it. There's gonna be lots of nice trim on this thing. I always try to cut everything from the back side because the way that the blade spins, it'll chip up. Sweet. I like that. Nice little kitchen. All right. So here's my cooktop. I got it from Amazon. Everything in this van pretty much came from Amazon. It's like that whole website's made for people building camper vans. And it's a small one. Just a little guy. But what I want to do, I could just set it here and then just move it out of the way and have more counter space. But that'd be too easy. So I'm going to recess it in the counter. And it's got a fan on the bottom, so it has to have airflow underneath. So the plan is to recess it and then have like a grill right here for it to get air. And then I also thought, you know, I'm gonna try to park the van level whenever I can, but if I ever needed to shim this up a little, you know, to keep my butter from going to one side or the other, it'd be nice to be able to get to the legs underneath and, you know, stick something under it to shim it up. So I haven't really worked all that out yet. I might have to cut this 2x4 a little bit right here and then make like a little door with a grill on it that I can open up and get in there. Or something. I'll figure that out later. But for now, I think what I want to do is mark out where this is going to go and then cut a hole for it. I'm going to keep it kind of towards the front. I'd like to get a little toaster oven, but I don't know if I'm going to have room for that. If I did, I'd put it right behind this. So ideally, I'd have this about as close to the front as possible, like right here. And then I could cook on this or right here on the wood stove. That was kind of the idea. Foresty Forest put one in a drawer that comes out, which is a pretty neat idea, but I wouldn't want to be like way back here as I'm cooking. I want to be at this height pretty sure I won't have any room for a toaster oven. This is, now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of a small area here. I gave the wood stove like a liberal amount of space around it, which, you know, I could have gone smaller with that opening, but just to be on the safe side, what I think I'll do is pencil underneath around the edges so I know exactly where the cabinet ends under here. And then I'll probably flip this over, and trace it out, see what that looks like. Also, I think the black glass on the sink, the tempered glass lid that it comes with, will look pretty slick with the black glass cooktop. It's all gonna kind of, it'll match, you know. Try not to scratch this thing up. I'm sure I will when I use it, but damn it. If I get really detailed with the jigsaw, I could get a little bit of a radius on these corners too. But when I cut the Formica with the router, it will make really nice radiused corners. I haven't done that in 15 years. I've done Formica countertops before. You glue it on with contact cement, which is extremely stinky, and then you route the edges with a trim bit with bearing. I currently don't own a router, but I'm planning on buying a cheap one. I've already looked at them at the store. And a friend of mine has a router table that I'm going to borrow from him to make all my trim and cabinet doors and stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to continue with my plan to recess this. Hopefully it turns out good. If not, I'll just buy a sheet of plywood and start over. So, 40 bucks. Trial and error. If I hate it, I can change it. My sink will be here Wednesday. Today's Sunday. So I will try to have that on the video for next Saturday. Yeah, I could probably do the bulk of this with the skill saw, but I'll just do the whole thing with the jigsaw. Should be a cleaner cut, even though it'll take 10 times longer and be loud. Yeah, I need to sand it a little bit. I'm going to try to use the Dremel for this. But the bit kind of sucks. I put some electrical tape on it to try to hold this on there. We'll see. Voila. I have a recessed, flush-mounted induction cooktop. It's an extremely tight fit, and I'm wondering, does this thing expand when it's in use? Is it gonna get hot? Is it gonna burn my countertop? I don't know. For now, it's like a perfect fit. But should I make it, you know, a loose fit? Damn, that looks good though. Yeah, I think I'm going to sand a little more, get it more loose fitting. All right, it's Tuesday night now. I'm gonna figure out my cooktop ventilation leveling access thingy that I described. So I have no clue how to proceed, but I'm gonna start by marking out where it is on the front. So all right. Now the bottom of the counter, or stove, cooktop, is just below 2 inches. So I would want the bottom of this to be at 2 inches from the counter. Plus whatever plywood I use. So we'll go 2.5. Okay. And then the top. The fan is right there on the front left. We're just gonna go 1/4 inch down on the top. Yeah. Yeah. Got a little carried away there. Derailed. So there's definitely a screw there, I think. So I'm gonna have to take this back off, remove that screw, unless I Yeah, that screw goes clear out to here. Unless I bring my opening in a little bit. Suppose I could subtract an inch. Why not? What I'm thinking I'll do is cut this out. And then I'm going to build the frame for that to live in. And then after I do the fascia, which I was considering like a panel or something instead of just plywood, or maybe even like real wood. I'll have a little door with a grill that just kind of opens one way or the other. Then I can clean out whatever crumbs get underneath it and stick stuff under there to shim it whatever way necessary. If I ever need to, say I'm just not parked level and I need to, you know, cook some eggs or something. This is totally a really good idea. That screw. Oh wow. I broke my blade. It's hot. I've been using the same blade like since the door. Alright, that is terribly crooked. Apparently my blade likes to go up. Okay. Now, take some measurements. Oh yeah, this is nice. That is perfect. Yeah, I think I'll put an outlet underneath here for the cooktop. Run some power for this water pump too. Let's see. All right, here's what I've come up with. I put a 2x2 right here, and then I cut a piece of the U-Haul wood that is just the right size for the bottom of this. So now I'll have a easy clean surface. Bonus. And then I took a 1x and ripped it down to 3 inches to match this side. And then I cut some plywood. I had to make it a 2-piece because using my scraps here. But basically I'm going to mount this here like so. And then the U-Haul wood will go on top of that in here for like a bottom. Just like that. And that will be the base for the stovetop. That puts it at the right height. I can get in here. I'm going to leave the back open just because, for airflow. Why not? So yeah, and then well, like I said, when I do the front of the cabinet, I will make a nice little door with a grill here. Or I could just not even have a grill and just have a little door because I have the back open now. But yeah, took me a minute to come up with this, but I figured it out. So now it's just a matter of screwing everything together and trying not to split this 1x. I'm gonna drill pilot holes, of course, but. All right, I used my table saw to rip some pieces of a 2x4 scrap. I've got 1/8 inch thickness and 1/4 inch. So now I have shims for it, and I can even keep them in here. I just kind of slide them in there. That's where they can live. Yeah, and then if I ever want to level it, I've got these little bullseye levels that I bought like a long time ago. And when I'm done with the countertop, when I laminate it, I'm gonna, like maybe right here, put one like flush mounted. I'll use a router and route out a little hole and have a level right here on my countertop. Then I have 2 of them. And what I'm gonna do is I'll install one, and then I'm gonna like level the van here in the shop. I'll jack it up however I need to get it perfectly level right here. And then I'm gonna install another one on the dash. That way when I'm parking, I can just look, get the van level, and then come back here and it should be good. So just for shits, let's test this. So I'm pretty much level this way. Just barely off, but this way I'm like way off. The van is, you know, sits at a bit of a rake. So, take my shims. So now it's like way too much. I'll try an 1/8 inch. I need to kind of sand this opening some more though. It's a little tight still. There. The stove top is level. So if I wanted to fry some eggs, they wouldn't just slide to one end of the pan. This is a pretty stupid, crazy contraption here. It's not as crazy as the wall studs, but it's up there. I'm sure the professional van builders have some system where you just crank a knob and, you know, or something crazy like that. It's probably got Bluetooth and LEDs in it too. All right, so I'm getting my sink tomorrow, but I won't be able to get back to working on the van until Thursday. So the sink's gonna go on this side. I forget the measurements, but it's gonna take up pretty much, you know, the majority of the countertop. I've also picked out a small coffee maker that has a stainless, you know, whatever they call it. It's a 5 cup, and it's gonna go kind of right here. I also found, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, but I actually found a toaster oven that will fit right here. And I kind of want it, because that's the only thing the van won't have is an oven. And I'm not getting a microwave. I don't need that. But it'd be cool to, like, you know, if I want to make a cool sandwich or whatever. So I might get that. It's 8 inches deep by 15 inches wide, so it'll be about that wide. And it's kind of tall. It's 11 inches tall or something. Then the coffee pot, and then the sink. And the sink has a tempered glass lid, so it will still double as counter space. I can set like a bamboo cutting board on top of it. But what I'm about to figure out now is my window. Where is my window gonna go? It's really looking like it's gonna go right over that bolt. So I'm gonna have to remove that and either reinstall a bolt higher or lower, or just not at all. I'm not sure yet. But I could put it like between these studs, but I'd still like have to trim the frame of the window to, you know, clear the bolts. I don't want to do that. That would look stupid. But I'm building cabinets up here. And I don't know how tall I want them to be. I guess I'm gonna just have to install my window and then make the cabinets whatever height I got above that, which is like, it's a lot. I mean, I'm gonna have a good, probably 15-inch tall cabinet. I'm only gonna have it come out about 10 inches or so, because I don't wanna like close this van in too much. So I'm gonna take some measurements and at least get the height figured out, and then we'll figure out our left to right. I think I'm just gonna kind of put it to the right. I think it'll look good right here, actually. Kind of right behind the sink. I want it up enough where I can have stuff behind the sink below the window. You know, spices or whatever, my rock collection or something. But I don't want it up so high where it kind of messes with the cabinet above. So lots of stuff to consider. It does suck that I'm getting into a wall stud, but that's kind of inevitable. I kind of expected that, honestly. But as far as mounting my cabinets, I think it'll be fine. I'm not gonna have cabinet above the wood stove because the pipe is gonna come up and over, and that's just too close to that. I'll probably hang stuff on the wall here. I'm gonna use every inch of this van. So I think what I'll do is grab my tape measure and a Sharpie and figure out, I guess, where I want the cabinets, and then figure out the height of my window. if I sort of continue this up, and we'll say, let's say 15 inches. And that's from the right here. So that's really more like 17. So let's do 13. See what that looks like. And then this is it's like 1.25 inches from the wall stud. Go down to 13 from there. That puts it at 21.5 from the top of the counter. That's not bad. I like that. I hear a train. Yeah, it's a pretty decent sized counter, or cabinet, I mean. My line looks crooked as hell. Actually, it's not that bad. It's a little lower on the left, that's why. Okay, so for which way do I want it to open? I can move the plugs so the weep holes are on either side. I'm thinking I want it to open this way. Sink side. Oh, you pull it like that. How does that look? Stupid? I don't know, I like it. Let's do 5.5. Yeah, this marker is done for. I'm gonna go get a new marker. Then the actual hole needs to be smaller. I guess you use these little shims to stick it in there with or something. So that's 14 5/8 by 23 5/8. This is a pretty crucial cut for being tired as hell on a Tuesday night. I'll cut out the foam and, the inside first before I actually cut a hole in the van. I don't even remember how I cut out that other window. I think I made a template out of cardboard. That's a good idea. I should do that. I guess I could just use the box that it came with, huh? This isn't like the flattest, nicest piece of cardboard. Yeah, this is a terrible cut. Just on the top. So we're going to ignore that. Sure. That's good enough, right? I don't know. Sure. Screw it. Here we go. Oh, come on. Fucker. Do I need a new blade? Oh, I can flip it. So the jigsaw just wasn't long enough to get the job done.
That's what she said.
So I'm going to cut a giant hole in the side of my van from the inside with a Sawzall. And I'll admit, I'm kind of nervous. I don't care how ugly the hole is as long as it's not too big. That's what he said. Anyway, I dry fit the window. And I think it'll be okay. So I'm just gonna go for it. And fingers crossed. I'm going to start by making a 1-inch hole so the Sawzall blade can at least get started. Here we go. This is terrifying. Sawzall blade does not like to turn corners, so I gotta make relief cuts. I purposefully cut it too small so I can ease into it, because the worst thing I could do is make the hole too big. Boom. Look at that. It's not even that crooked. I think. I don't know. I got some, you know, room for adjustment. Sweet. Another successful giant hole cut in the van. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing I did on the back window and drill a bunch of holes in it and mount it with screws, butyl tape, and urethane. So the window's 25¼ wide, and I just figured out that this center thing isn't really center. So I am gonna go about 12 5/8, and I'm using a blue paint marker because I tried to use a Sharpie and I just can't see anything. Not that the paint marker is much better, but it'd be nice if I had a white one, but or any bright color, but I just don't. All right. And then we're 16¼ well, 16 and like 3/8. So I'll just do like 8 1/8 for the side. When I installed that back window, after I installed it, I did that thing where I welded those washers to the back doors so they would close. And when I did that, I welded them and then I ground them out with a rotary file, and I accidentally pitted the shit out of my back window. I was pretty disappointed in myself for that. All right, we got our centers. Now I'll do, we'll just pick a measurement. We'll do 4 inches off center. Oh God, I'm getting paint all over my arm. This marker's dripping everywhere. Need to go shake it out over the trash can or something. Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah, we'll just do 4 and 8. How's that look? Sure. You ever bought something brand new and then immediately like ruined it? You know, like took it apart or modified it right out the box. Been doing that my whole life. I just can't leave nothing alone, you know? Getting a ton of starlings out there lately. I thought it was raining once. There was just thousands of them on the roof here at the shop. It's that time of year though. I am gonna clean this up, get the butyl tape on it. Butyl tape, butyl tape, butyl tape. This little table right here is where my friend who has a carpet cleaning business like cleans his tools in the morning, like his vacuum and his brush thingies. So it's like the dirtiest, fuzziest surface to be installing butyl tape. Why don't I do it somewhere else? Oh, I don't know. That thought never occurred to me. All right, this was a little weird. All those birds were being really loud, and then suddenly they all went quiet. Crazy flock mentality. I've had lots of birds like as pets, and like if one of my birds would fly, my other ones would fly too. They'd just take off because they have that like crazy flock mentality. How in the hell is that perfect? Wow. It's like literally just under 12 inches, or just over 12. Just under 12, I mean. Yeah, that is like dead straight. Wow. Freaking awesome. So I'm installing it with these little 1-inch drywall screws, just like I did the back window. And then I will pull them out one by one and replace with the larger stainless screws. That way it's got a, you know, good pilot hole already in the plywood. I'm doing the number 10 by ones like I used on the awning track because I just didn't drill big enough holes in the window for the number 12s. Man, this is awesome. I'm gonna have to cut some Reflectix right away so people can't just look in my van. I got cameras on it, but still, I don't need people looking in there, seeing what I got. Sweet, I have a side window. See, originally I thought I was gonna like get right into those couple of messed up snakes. And I was kind of hoping for it actually, just to, but I will fix them snakes one of these days. I'm not really looking forward to painting this van, I'll be honest. I've considered just leaving it like it is, kind of ratty looking, but I don't know. I do not like body work. I took auto body and collision repair in high school. And all I really learned is how to use a hammer and dolly, how to weld, and how to apply Bondo. We never actually painted a whole car there or nothing. That looks, I'm gonna have to like hit that with a hammer or something. Good enough. Sweet. I've got a kitchen window. All right, now check this out. It's my sink. I got it. It's got this black glass lid. Opens up. Comes with a little drain shoe and a hose, and here's the faucet. I went with the gooseneck style. You can buy the same sink, but it's got like a, I don't know, less attractive looking faucet. I like the gooseneck style the best. I like geese. One of those Canadian ones attacked my truck once. I was just like in a parking lot somewhere. Next thing I know, there's this goose like pecking at my tire. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man? That goose was having a bad day. So I need to cut out a hole for this thing. I don't know if it came with a template or not. And I'll do all the plumbing and stuff in another video. I'm actually, not to toot my own horn, but I am a really good plumber. I've been doing it for 15 years now, like professionally. Yeah, it did not come with a template, so we're gonna have to lay it on the counter, draw it out, and then subtract I need to ask myself now, where do I want it? Do I want it back here, in the middle, or in the front? I think it would look the best in the front, but I think I'd have more functionality of my kitchen with it in the back, because that gives me a nice little counter space right here. So, what do you think? Front or back? It would look a lot nicer in the front though. Kind of in line with the cooktop. Then I can just set stuff back here. Yeah. I gotta put it in the front. It would look ridiculous back here. Even though I think that would be more functional. Yeah, I'm thinking it'll be on the front right corner. I already marked, you know, where the cabinet goes. So I think I'm gonna just go off of that with how I figure out where to put the sink. So, and I pretty much flip it over, trace it out, and then I will subtract, looks like about 1/4 of an inch all the way around off my line, because that's what the flange is for this thing. Try to get it as straight as I can. It's a decent little sink. They put the, you know, the condensation mat on the bottom. I've installed some extremely cheap, shitty sinks from, you know, in apartments. This one's not too bad. I don't really like stainless steel sinks. I wanted something more unique, but what really sold me was the folding faucet and little lid, because I have such limited space in here. Also, when did sinks get so expensive? The only options at the hardware stores, like locally, were little stainless bar sinks, which were still pretty expensive, like $90. And that's just silly. Then I thought about vanity sinks, you know, like for your bathroom. Could have got something fancy there, but I like this for its functionality. It's a pretty heavy duty lid too. It's got some weight to it. There's my hole I marked out. I need to subtract 1/4 inch all the way around. I'll probably do the jigsaw. I'm not doing anything else with the Sawzall. It's kind of violent, you know. Will it fit? Hell yeah. All right. I wonder if these hinges are adjustable, because it really doesn't sit super flush. It's kind of high in the back. You can adjust the glass, but I don't think you can actually adjust the hinges. They just screw on right there. All right. Yeah, I'm glad I put it towards the front. It would have looked pretty ridiculous, like being offset from the cooktop. Now there's some kind of symmetry, I guess you could say. I couldn't really go any further towards the edge either, just because of the way the cabinet's built. I've got a window, I've got a kitchen counter, I have a cooktop, I have a wood stove, I got a sink. All right, making progress. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. I really don't know what I'm doing on the next one, honestly. I want to get the ceiling done with the panel and the lights and everything that's going up there, but I can't do that yet until I mount the solar, because I need to run the wires through the ceiling or through the roof for the solar, and I need to run the exhaust, the stack for my wood stove, out through the roof and figure out where my roof jack, or whatever they call it, is going to go. I want to wire up my entire electrical system. I have to buy the wire, which is going to be about 250 bucks, because I'm getting the good stuff, not that CCA crap. I'm getting like actual real copper. I want to build my desk on the other wall, and that's probably what's going to be the next thing. Or I am going to continue working on this. Now that I have the sink mounted, or at least located, now I can figure out drawers, doors, the fascia. So that might be the start of the next episode. I'm going to build drawers all down right here below the cooktop, and then under the sink probably be just a door or something. The sink is pretty shallow. It only comes out to about right where my hand is. So I could put some drawers under that too. But I do have a ton of room under here to work with. I do want all my plumbing and stuff to be accessible. I'm going to have a water pump and filters and stuff under there. And I'm really considering putting in an ice maker, like a little countertop one, and just keep it underneath the sink. Because that is the luxury that I truly enjoy, is having, ice in my beverages. But so thanks for watching this video, and I appreciate it. I love reading all your comments too. I like all your feedback. Thank you for that too. If you haven't seen all my other van build videos, check out the playlist on my channel. And if you like this content, or you're considering building a box van, or you're just curious what I'm going to do next with this thing, then consider subscribing. And thanks again, and I'll see you next week.